my mind, now I'm doing fine, yeah. So happy without you. On my mind, now I'm doing fine, yeah. So happy without you. I just heard the other day that you've been worried about my state. Then maybe I'm at home in tears alone. And if I lasted by, left me wondering why. Now let me put your mind at ease. I'm gonna tell you how I feel, and you can rest assured I'm fine, alright. So let me shed some light, some light.
Hello everyone, it's been a while, but I'm back on YouTube with another story and tutorial for y'all. If you'd like to make this summer peplum top for yourself, let's get right into the materials you're going to need. You'll need fabric scissors, paper scissors, 1 yard of boning, 1.5 to 2 yards of fabric of your choice, 1.5 yard of your lining fabric, a 14-inch invisible zipper or longer, pins, marking pen, and of course the McCalls sewing pattern M7752. Now, for those of you who don't know how to read/understand how sewing patterns work, I would suggest you to look into this tutorial by Mimi G Style, one of my fave fashion and sewing bloggers, where she teaches you step by step how to read a sewing pattern envelope, pick your size that works with your measurements, and how to cut out the patterns and make your markings. I've linked the tutorial in the description below, as well as the card in the corner. Once you've gone through that, you can come back here and continue along with the sewing tutorial. For this pattern, I picked a size 10 for myself. You're going to cut out pieces 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. And you'll be cutting out pieces 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, and 11 again in your lining fabric. Now let's get started. You're going to take pieces number 5, which is your knot bodice overlay, and narrowly hem the curved edges with pins. Then go to the sewing machine and edge stitch it in place. After that, I ironed them and sewed 2 rows of long stitches on the side edges in order to gather them. Once you've gathered the side edge, pin piece 4, which is the upper back, to the side edge of the bodice overlay, right sides together. Baste them together, and this is how it should look like on one side. And repeat the same steps to the other side of your top. Now you're going to take bra piece 1 and bra piece 2 and sew the long seam with the double notches edge. Once you've sewn that, iron the seams open on a tailor's ham or seam roll, like the one I'm using. We want a nice crisp seam and shaped bust for the bra piece. After you do this, you're going to repeat the same steps for the other side and then sew the 2 bra cups at center front. Where I pinned is where I will sew. Now you're going to take the knot bodice overlay that you basted to the upper side back and pin the seam to the side edge of your bra cup, which is what I'm doing here. Make sure to repeat the same steps to the other side. Once you've sewn that, this is how it should look like. The knot bodice overlay should be sandwiched in between the bra cup and the upper side back, which is what I'm showing you here. Then after that, you're going to pin the upper back to the upper side back, right sides together and notches matching, and you're going to sew that. This is how the bra top should look like once these pieces are sewn. Now let's get into these straps, honey. You're going to fold the strap along the fold line, pin and stitch it, leaving the ends open. Once you've pinned it and stitched it, make sure you iron it out and flip it inside out, which is what I'm about to do here. You can use a loop turner or your fingers, whatever your choice. This is how your straps should look like once they're ironed and pressed. Very nice, crisp, and long. Now you're going to bring out your bra top. Along the seam between the upper side back and upper back, you're going to pin the strap into place and baste it. Repeat the same steps for the other side of the bra. This is how it should resemble once completed. Take your piece 11, which is your midriff front, and pin pieces 10, which is your midriff back, at the sides. Then sew it at your sewing machine. Make sure to press your side seams open. Now you're going to take your bra top and pin it to your midriff. Use the notches, match the seams, and centers. This part is very crucial. It might take a minute for those beginner sewers out there who's trying this, but in the end, it'll look great. Just make sure to pay attention to your notches and your markings. The pattern says it's average or intermediate, which I do believe it is an intermediate project. I think the easiest way to make sure this project is seamless and is not as hard is try going for a solid fabric, a patterned fabric, or fabric that has stripes or plaids might be a little bit more difficult to match up. But nonetheless, this is how it should look like once it's pinned along properly. Before going to the machine to sew that edge, please flip it over and look to test to see if all the seams match and the centers match before you sew it. And this is how it should look like once sewn. I also tied the knot bodice overlay right now just to get it out the way and to kind of see how it started to look like. You don't have to, but it will help because it is a big portion of the project that's in your way. Make sure to press that seam upward. The seam should be going towards the bra top. The midriff seam should be going towards the bra top. This is how your peplum top should be looking once the midriff section is sewn to the bra top. Also, once you tie the knot bodice overlay. Your peplum front and pin the sides to the peplum back, making sure the notches match. Go to the sewing machine, and this is how it should be sewn and how it should look like. Now you're going to open up your peplum and pin it along the edge of the midriff top, right sides facing each other. Make sure notches, centers, and seams match. Once you've sewn it, this is how the seam should look like. Make sure to press the seam upwards towards the midriff. Now you're going to take your invisible zipper, which is 14 inches long. However, if yours is long like mine, you're going to mark 14 inches along with a marking pen, and you're going to now place it on the edge of your top on the right side and pin it along the zipper until you reach your marking or the end of your zipper if it is 14 inches. I stop exactly at where my marking is for 14 inches. After you sew it onto the machine, you're going to repeat the same steps to the other side of your top. Make sure to match the seams and the print if there is a print on your top. This is how your invisible zipper should look like on the inside. Make sure to test if the zipper works, and also make sure the seams match each other. As you can see, I'm testing to see if the seams match each other. Now you're going to stitch center back seam below the remaining end of the zipper. Make sure to hand sew the end of the zipper tape to the seam allowance, keeping the back free when stitching. Test your zipper and see how it looks on your top. Now you're going to repeat the same steps we did in the beginning to create the bra top and midriff for your lining, bra top, and midriff. Once you've completed that, you're going to take your yard of boning and measure it along the length of the side seam. Make sure to cut 2 of the boning, same length. Then you're going to slide back the casing from the boning and trim away 7 out of 8 inches or about an inch on the end of the boning, each end of the boning. Making sure the seams are open and pressed on your top, you're going to pin the boning and edge stitch the boning to the seam. Then you're going to take your lining bodice and pin it along your actual top's bodice and sew on that edge, as you can see here. Once you've sewn and completed it, you can flip it inside out or outside in, whatever you call it, and make sure to press those edges, leaving an opening at the markings on the front of your bust to insert your straps, which is what I'm doing here. Once you've inserted the strap to the length you need to wear it, you're going to go back on the machine, flip it inside back out, and sew it on that edge where you did. Now pin your lining to the seam of your bodice, right, like what I've done here, and you can hand sew it to the seam. Hand sew it to the seam allowance. Once that's completed, all you have left to do is to actually hem the bottom of your top, and that's done. Well, thanks for watching this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to subscribe and like and share this video. Do you plan on making this top? Let me know. Comment below. Have a good one, y'all.